Hi, my name's Mike and my wife Carolyn. We're from Wilsonville, Oregon. Self-taught. I've identified about 15 locations in Oregon myself, and I teach in Oregon. I'm relatively new to this area. We are a new member officially this past week. We joined the 49ers.
Larry. Hi, Larry. 29 Palms, California. Came up last year. Just started. Learned a little bit. Went back home. Used what you taught me. Got my own claim. Got about 2 ounces.
Wow.
Outstanding.
Came back and going to pay attention this year.
I'm Joe Lahey. I'm a full-time RVer. Right now, my fifth wheel is in Happy Camp, so I'm from Happy Camp. Joined the 49ers last year and anxious to do some more IBAC.
Steve Stockholm from Grants Pass. I just heard back you were on the oil phone company that we are on the heat block. Looking for you. And we enjoy it.
Great. We'll get there.
Fooling around with High Banker, enjoying the camaraderie of the campers and fellow miners and sharing dinners. And we're just killing a little time till judges season opens up in Oregon.
Mike and Bob Ward, my brother Bob, this is our 6th year dredging. We found you guys through your books. We've been reading your books since we started. And we've been up at Savage Rapids doing the same for the past, we've been here for 2 months now.
Yes.
You guys are dredging in Idaho.
Yes.
Idaho just got shut down.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in Oregon, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oregon is the last place. Then we got to go to Alaska.
Barry Emery from Indiana, my first year at 49er.
Welcome.
Tom Edwards from Cottonwood, California, pretty new to mine, hoping to try touching dredging up in Oregon this year.
I'm Bob Helgeson, my wife Diane. We created a 4-inch dredge for 5 years of moratorium. And then went up to Rogue River last year and immediately sold the 5 to Derek. We couldn't handle the road. It was too much for a couple of weekend dredges. So we're back to a 4-inch pro line. We're hoping that we can play with that as an inflow so people will know what they're doing.
I think you'll find the Umpqua is much more user-friendly.
That road was not user friendly at all. Of course.
Definitely, of course.
Bill Marshall, I'm from Delray Beach, Florida, first year. Bill,
Okay, so that's a Kodak moment if you don't knock it over.
Oh, yeah. Nice sized chunk right down here.
That's what I saw. He told me it was White Rock.
You didn't see that.
No.
You were looking at that white rock down there. Come on.
You didn't have your glasses on.
That's not a bad cleanup. Anybody want to take a picture?
How many pennyweights?
I gotta tell you too, that tasted pretty darn good last night.
They were really sweet.
10.
Pretty the
Maybe 11.
calazones came out pretty good this time, huh?
Yeah, they did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I
I meant to catch you last night or even today and let you know. But, that would be, yeah.
yeah, Mom did teach me how to bake, so that is one of my virtues that serene moment on the Klamath River. Just a little bit of east of Happy Camp, California. We're on one of the 49er claims. I believe this is what they call the mega hole. And I just came down here to check out the river and see what these guys have been doing. They're farther down the river that way, and you can see some places where people have been mining here in the past few years. So I would say that there are places to find gold around here, because there's lots of places where people have dug, and supposedly this is supposedly a pretty good stretch for prospecting. But you can kind of maybe see them down there. They're a little farther up the river. But right here in this band, it goes around like this. And they have some pretty serious operations going on over here. There's like 4 or 5 people already set up. Let's go see what they're doing.
Now, who's got the eagle eyes? Somebody with an eagle eye.
I find this.
Check out my work there.
My daughter and I went to Thanksgiving and
Okay, I'm gonna need that pen with the 2 plates.
actually back here. Here at Wingate.
That's a pretty good cleanup job, man.
Down there, Dave, I don't have my glasses on, but it looks to me like the notch of the screw caught some gold.
Really?
Okay, am I seeing that right?
Can I have that small, the black one?
See on that one? Is that some gold?
Halved it, or more than that.
What's that?
It did. There was.
cut it in half.
Yeah, at least in half.
When I go to the drying process, Rich will pan this and he'll show you what comes out of this for losses. I'm gonna pan a little of the lights off. There's not very many. I can't pan too much or I'll lose gold. That's your gold. I don't want to lose it. Those are white rocks. Come on. See that?
Oh,
He found his glasses.
he's got the evil eyes on that.
Uh-oh.
But that's a piece of gold. So that's as far as I'm gonna go. Now I'm gonna dry it. Okay. So those pliers are still inside?
Rich, we help you in some way?
Right through here, boys.
Let me know if you need something lifted or whatever.
What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drain this off and then
Okay.
That's great.
Did we work out the chips already?
She's pretty good video.
We didn't
I do lots of uploads to like
number
YouTube and
systems
stuff.
that I'm
Gotta get everybody sitting down or standing still, like in the house.
Don't do it on that one, I'll give you a piece of paper.
You know that is.
I'll start over. Everybody stand perfectly.
Number 10. Eleven through 15, come on up.
Thank you.
15. Okay, we need a double.
Sure worked for it.
These guys are only a week apart.
16 through 20, come on up. 16 through 20.
They're only a week apart in age. Their birthdays are a week apart.
Yeah, how old are you?
And, howdy folks, first time, right? Didn't even know what gold looked like. You know what it looks like now though, right?
Yeah.
Mostly we had a discussion about how to sample, what kind of follows its own path, in a layer. You know, the way that you find it is you go out there and you work hard. And you try to keep your hope up and balance that with, without getting carried away in one spot. Don't get too much hope in one spot. You know, you got a little reality check on it too. This place that we found out there yesterday, you guys saw my sample, right? You guys watched mine. And I didn't have my glasses on, but it looked to me like I didn't get nothing. And then Richard got to looking at it, and there were 3 little specks, but they were so small I couldn't see them. So, it's a heck of a way to start. But quite often you'll find, you'll go out and you'll start sampling and you won't find anything. Am I right? Yeah. Anybody experienced in here is going to tell you there's a lot of places you go where you just don't find anything. It's really demoralizing. And then you guys got busy, and a lot of your pans look just about like mine, not so good. And an hour or so went by, and I was, in my world, worried about this moment. That's the point where we got to start doing the splits. And grabbed on to all the experienced guys who were up there having a chat. Just, I don't know what they were talking about, girls or something.
Go.
They're just up there gabbing away. You know, I was getting that gulping feeling, so I went up and told the guys we had to find something. So Danny went, a lot of the time the best way to find gold is to go where you found it before. You know what I mean? You already kind of know where it is and what you're looking for. So Danny went to the head of the bar, and Derek followed him up that way, and it wasn't, it was first pan. And Danny was into it. Nice, pretty nice sized pieces. And I was breathing a little easier. And we sent some more guys down there, and they spread that out, it's at the head of the bar. And there's a whole area up there, it's a secret. Can't tell you exactly where, because that's where we're going on the next project. And it would have been where we went today, but, is it Bill? Was it Bill?
Yeah.
Or Bob?
Bill.
Bill. Where's Bill? Raise your hand.
He already left.
You left. Well, Bill, when we cut everybody loose to go prospecting, he decided he's going to go up in the shade to prospect. So he went up into that place where we were today, and he came up with his first pan. And I had already talked to Richard. You know, I was already having discussions with Richard. Richard's got to pick up my slack, and I was going, this looks terrible out here, man. And he goes, oh, have hope. You have to have hope. I think it's really good. You know, really. You just dug not deep enough. But I was watching what you guys were getting, and I'm going, I don't want to get down to where we only have, 5 grains of gold tomorrow to split off. We got to do better. So Richard got busy, and he found Bob, and Bob first. Bob or Bill?
Bill.
Bill's first pan had like 5 or 6 of these right at 30 mesh pieces. I mean, it was a good pan, maybe one of the best pans I've seen in a couple of years, as a first pan. Boy, did that feel good. And Richard came running down the bar with a pan. Hey, doesn't it make you feel better? And it did. And it did. So, at that point, we got some more guys up there in Bill's hole, and we sent some more guys down to Danny's hole, and we just went back and forth, and Danny kept bringing, Danny was getting the nuggets. Danny's hole got the big pieces, sure. But Bill's hole was consistent on these little flakes. And the high bankers were a lot closer to Bill's hole. They were already set up. So, by about 5 o'clock yesterday, we had gotten enough, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 good pans out of Bill's location. Pretty good pans. They were pretty consistent. So we decided that if we just pour into that place in volume, that it would probably add up. It's always a little risky. It's always just a little bit risky. And you guys got down there this morning. Some of you guys were even down there like about 6. And reset up the high bankers so that they were a little bit closer. And you guys pounded it. I'll bet you did 800 buckets today. And I was really worried because the band that Bill was getting gold out of was very thin. I spent enough time in his hole yesterday to know that it was coming out of it was just a little narrow band of pack. And above it was like leafy stuff, like decomposed vegetation, and below it was loose. It was just a really thin band. And when I showed up on the bar today at about 8:30, everybody was digging deep. Everybody. A lot of sand going into the buckets. And I was worried. You guys know, everybody heard me going around saying, watch out, don't go that deep. Worried about the split. I worry about the split all the way to the point where everybody gets a share. I worry about it. It's terrible when there's no split. You know, 1 speck for you. Anyway, we normally clean up there's a high grade section up in the header box of that recovery system. We normally just clean that up, just one of them. You know, about 2 hours into the day. Get a chance to get a bunch of buckets through, and then we want to get a look at how we're doing. We're usually doing good enough to where it's motivating. And today, when they shut that down to do it, there was vegetation plugging up the whole system. So they cleaned up the whole box. They had to get that vegetation out of it. Richard panned it, and it was okay. It was okay. We certainly weren't going to break any records. Just a little bit demoralizing to me. I kind of know how it's going to add up, you know, and it wasn't looking like it was going to add up too great. And you guys went back to work. I was motivating to you guys. You guys went back to work. We finished running the rest of it. Set up the trap and ran it, and that second run on that first high banker was the amount of gold. You couldn't have run another 50 buckets maybe through that high banker, and there had to be twice as much gold in it as the first run. So, and those buckets had already been dug. They were all sitting there. So they must have been dug earlier in the day, and that must have been that early band. You know, there was this band that was paying, and then you guys were digging. There was a lot of dirt below that was getting dug. And so the first run of the day, we must have been running the low stuff. We just kind of lucked out. I was very, very impressed with how much gold came out of that second cleanup. And there was good gold that came out of the second high banker too. There's nothing wrong with 10 penny weights. 10 penny weights is pretty good. For the amount of, what did we move? Maybe 2 cubic yards of material today? 3 cubic yards? You know, $700. That's pretty rich ground. If we could just get in there with the backhoe, boy, we could really make some money. Okay, you'll find places that are a lot better than that. We've done a lot of these projects where it was a lot richer than that. And we've also done projects where it was a lot poorer than that. It's not the same everywhere, you know. But that'll at least give you a baseline, you know. Most of you guys saw what those pans were looking like, and the experienced guys were panning the material that you were digging today and showing you. So you get an idea what it looks like in a pan, and then you get an idea what it looks like when you run 800 buckets of it. okay? And, you can find ground a lot better than that if you sample, you really can. But you can sample a lot of places that aren't as good as that too. Okay? That just gives you a kind of a starting point. You guys feel like you got a starting point?
Yeah.
Okay. So, anybody got any questions? Yes.
Can you repeat the restrictions on use of that area? Is it tomorrow that we're not supposed to use it till a certain time, or I missed part of that?
There's no restriction.
One or two? Yeah.
So we got an inspection tomorrow. The state of California's coming in. The big bosses are coming in. The big regulatory bosses are coming in the afternoon. So it's probably better to have everybody out of there by like 1 o'clock at the latest.
Probably
Well,
the
there's
best
about
bet.
a 90% chance of rain tomorrow anyway.
100%.
I'm gonna know by about 3 o'clock how things are going. We'll take him somewhere, he's gonna have a cell phone, we'll be in contact. I'll let him know whether nobody's coming or somebody's coming.
Probably better if we're gonna get an inspection that we don't have 50 people down there and, going at it like we were today. Probably better.
No high bankers set up?
Well, you can set your high bankers up, that's no, but we just don't wanna have a lot of water running down towards, and by that time in the afternoon, it's gonna be quieting down. And hopefully, when I'm done with my little thing upriver, we're gonna tell them I-5 is that way, they gotta go to Santa Rosa, goodbye. So they're gonna be down the road, and hopefully they won't even see you.
Otherwise, there's no restrictions. It's just, like I said, when a badge comes down the hill, normally we just stop working. We don't like, everybody's got a different opinion.